Okay, so today we're going to be making 12 cards, and these are going to be prototypes that are pitched to, I believe it's the company that created these. Anyway, so these are going to be some cards that actually have authentic cuts of original sketches of these anime characters. There will be 12. There's going to be 4 of them that are vertical that will use the majority of the picture, and then 8 additional pieces that are quad cuts that have pieces taken out of the bottoms here. And so this is the front sheet. The sheet behind this has a couple other sketches. So in Photoshop, here's actually what I designed with a little bit of a mock-up of one of the characters here in the middle. This is going to be the cutout part, and then this is kind of the artwork I did around it. And this is the back of one of them. Here's what the front looks like. So I did a number of things to enhance the image as far as the colors go. And, I had to do some manipulation on the background as well. But one piece of each of the sketches is going to go in here, and there's going to be 8 of these cards if all goes well. And last but not least, here is the back that I created. So I overlaid the actual sketches on top of the finished pieces, so that way you can kind of see the artwork come through kind of on the sketches themselves here. So I printed up a copy of this as a mock just to kind of test a few things, and I overlaid it and I held this up to the light to make sure that it was the exact same proportions as the originals, and that's important, especially when you're doing precise cuts like this here. So here's one of the fronts that's been printed out, each with a hole, so that way we can put some of the sketch cuts in. And in order to have the actual sketch cuts live nicely inside the card, I created a number of frames. So this frame is of a thicker cardstock, and that way it's basically going to adhere to the back of the card, so that way there's a little bit more thickness and there's a little well behind the card, so that way the sketch cuts can kind of live in there. Here's a quick look at the wooden frames for the vertical cards, and the back internal frames are installed behind them. So the next challenge is basically cutting these guys up. Has to be pretty precise, and so this is going to be kind of like a by hand deal. So to figure that out, I actually did a couple templates, and so we'll see how this works. I'm not sure just yet, but this is on acetate, and so I'm basically measuring it up like this. And we'll probably tack it down and do cutting that way, so that way I can see exactly what I'm cutting and what's going to be used. And yeah, so hopefully this will work out, and we'll see what happens. So using a washi tape on the back, I attached the acetate template to the top of the sketch, so that way I know exactly where to cut, and this should make my job a whole lot easier. The templates proved to be awesome, and they did their job. Here's one of the examples to kind of show you what they look like, and let me wrap this up and I'll show the rest of them. Okay, so we are finally finished with this project here, and so here's what they look like. There's 8 of these here, so I'll quickly go through these and I'll show you the vertical woodcuts right after. It was very time consuming to first of all get the cuts right, and then put them in the right order and make sure they're lined up perfectly in the back, but I think they all turned out pretty darn good. It's a really fun project to be able to wrap up here. So there's a couple more here, and then we will show the vertical wood pieces that are probably my favorite. I really like how these turned out, so we'll put these here. So the first one is this. Really like how that cut came out. And then this. Keep in mind, again, these are, authentic, one-of-a-kind cuts here. Original artwork. Then this here. And last but not least, this one. So there they all are together. And I guess you could probably spread these out here to get a better feel for the entirety of the project. But yeah, very, very pleased with how these came out. So there they are. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope everybody has a great day out there.